produce totally different culture in a sense that would identify your identity, identify your language and your policy and everything in life. And on that very important subject or particular subject, let me say, we are very delighted to have with us Ms. Heba Amer. She is a social entrepreneur and trainer, and she's going to talk to us about these important elements. Hello, Mrs. Amer.
Hello, Dina, and hello, Sharif.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
First, let's start with your title. So, your job. What do you do for a living?
Okay, maybe about my social enterprise, I think we need another episode, if you don't mind. But about training, yes, I'm certified trainer in diversity issue, and I think that's what we are going to talk about today, right?
So, so you help people to understand more about the cultural differences, accepting others, and diversity. The diversity concept. This is what you try to train people on.
Yes, yes, it helps people to live peacefully, and it enhances the coexistence within societies, especially in this age where we are in an open world and challenges are facing the societies more and more regarding the diversity.
Yes.
Is accepting other cultures as an education in its own right that is founded since the early beginnings of people? I mean, when I'm getting good education or the right education to accept the other, I will grow up as a person who had no prejudice, no racism or anything, or it's just something that I'm born with?
That's one factor, actually. So usually prejudice is inherited, yes, from parents to children. Usually media, for example, it enhances some stereotypes for some groups of people. So if I'm very well self-educated and I'm aware of those stereotyping, yes, I will be, by my own will, I will refuse stereotyping and prejudice. So one factor is, yes, education helps people to stop stereotyping and stop prejudice.
Yes. And how do you see the diversity concept in Egypt in general?
I feel,
frankly speaking.
Yes, frankly speaking, no, I see it as we're still far behind. We still have stereotyping for people from Upper Egypt, for example. We have this also the idea of a scapegoat, like sometimes we throw problems to just one group of people. I think this is easier, and this is in less educated and less developed communities who do this. It's easier not to think, to have like ready-made answers about specific topics, and that's it. And of course we find it also socially in, for example, marriage issues, and still we have the issue of light-skinned people and dark-skinned people. So I think we still need lots to do.
Yes, it's becoming the core of our issues today. You know, accepting others and accepting point of views. It's becoming the core of what we're living in terms of socio-economic problems today.
Yes, it is. If you allow me, I would like to maybe represent one of the models that represents those conflicts. Of course, the diversity, we cannot like wrap it in our 20 minutes interview, but at least we can just have a small idea about one concept in a nutshell. Sure. So this is one of the concepts where you see people as their opinions. Sometimes at the top it's their position. For example, I might have a very different opinion than yours. So I'm standing here and you are standing on the top of your mountain. So we will never meet. But if we dig deeper, we will find like common interests. So maybe you want, for example, to have our shooting in the daylight, and I want it in the evening. So we have totally different opinions. But if we dig deeper in the interests, we will have that. For example, you enjoy the sunlight and I enjoy the moonlight, for example. So we need some comfort, maybe that's what we both wanted. And if we dig deeper, we will find very, very common needs within all people. So at one point,
And it's obviously the common needs is more than the common position or interest by default as
Yes.
a pyramid model.
yes, so we can summarize it as that every person is unique or is like no other. At some point, I'm like no other. There is no other Heba like me, and every human being is like some people. Actually, we share lots of common things, and every human being is like everybody. Like can say nearly queerly everybody, like the basic
In the
existential.
sense of their needs. But let
Yes.
me ask you, what are the factors that create the cultural diversity in any country or in any community? Let me put it that
Yes,
way.
usually people have different, for example, ethnic origins, languages, religions or belief systems. Even masculinity and femininity creates differences. Every person has to decide what he or she belongs to, like what identifies their own identity.
Do you think that political systems feed on that particular issue so much?
Yes, yes,
Does
very
it come
much.
to the interest of some political factions, some
Yes,
groups?
exactly. Actually, prejudice and stereotyping helps dictatorships more because, like, it stems their existence more strongly, and usually polarization comes from this. When you don't accept other opinions and you stick to your own only. This comes very much in the political scene, of course, and I don't see any solution when we keep polarizing people like that. Maybe if we just dig deeper and find some common grounds and some common interests, we can still be different. Like what I'm saying about this is the second thing that I wanted to talk about is that accepting others' difference doesn't mean I have to dissolve in their own. I still have my own opinion, but I can peacefully disagree with you. So I can understand, I can accept, and I can disagree at the same time.
Yes, I think there is levels when it comes to absorbing the diversity concept and even in implementing that you are accepting the others' points of view or their backgrounds or their religions or their hobbies. But those levels, if you're looking at the entire world, even developed countries, they still have diversity issues, and we don't want to put it only on the Egyptian situation or the Arab situation. We might have the cultural issues and the history that is affecting diversity aspects. However, if we're looking at the levels, in your opinion, how to move and what are the levels of diversity? Because the least that we would love to see is that people accepting each other's and not dubbing or naming each other, or like you mentioned, scapegoating when there are issues, pointing at a faction or a group or a minority about situations or how bad they are or good they are and so on and so forth.
Yes, okay, there are four factors. If they are existing in a community or in a country, you will find like less discrimination and less prejudice. So one of them actually is the legal status. So for example, if you have like legal laws that prohibits discrimination and prejudice, people will accept each other just by law. So it happens in some societies and countries just by law. But of course, it's better to be like self-embedded and happening by autonomy. So it happens this way if the societies have contact with each other. Like sometimes when you talk about, for example, I can keep talking about Upper Egyptians, and maybe I've never met anybody of them. I haven't talked to them.
Or making jokes about.
Or making jokes, yes. So by the social contact, if in an open society, we have the chance and the opportunity to meet with different people. If we meet freely, probably we won't have prejudice because we already have met each other. So the stereotyping actually will not stay for long. The other thing is the self-esteem. If we have like fair society and everybody have their own self-esteem, they don't see others as a threat for them. Because usually prejudice is out of low self-esteem. I'm feeling small, so it's easier actually than to make effort to feel good. It's easier to project on others that they're bad. This will make me better in some way. And the last factor is the cooperation. If we have even different people, but if they have the ability to cooperate together, like the learning experiences, for example, it enhances the coexistence and accepting others. So those four factors, self-esteem, cooperation, and direct contact, and finally the legal issues. As you find them higher in countries, you will find better coexistence, and if you find them very low in some countries, you'll find issues of discrimination.
Right. Of course, in a world of globalization like the one we're living among now, cultural diversity is declining almost. But, however, there are very negative elements to it. Cultural diversity could be good in some way, but there are the negative elements that we're talking about. It's important to eliminate it. Nobody is in denial of that, but it's also important to maintain the cultural identity. So how can be a balance between both?
Yes, that's very important issue. What you mentioned is finding the balance between being open to other cultures, being accepting to them, but at the same time I'll be like proud and believing in what I belong to very strongly without denying others' rights to be so. So I think it takes like awareness and self-development to see this clearly. And actually, if I'm not convinced with what I belong to, it's easily like to be threatened really by other cultures. But if my own beliefs and cultures are well rooted, so I don't find any threat by opening up to new cultures. So yes, it takes effort, and it takes effort to reach the balance between accepting others and being open, and at the same time belonging very much to whatever you believe in.
Yes, Amer, we'd like to thank you very much for joining us. It has been a pleasure. Thanks for all of the information and the insights.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's move now to this upcoming report and the story all about the winner of the Red Series World Golf European Tour in Ain Sokhna. I'll be returning back with more, so stay with us.
Now we are with the winner of this tournament, Mr. Daniel. As I told you yesterday, everybody here saying, or it be sure that you are the winner. So tell me now, how do you feel with your cup, with your first place?
It's been fantastic. It's great to be holding the trophy actually, but I did make hard work of it early on in the round. I didn't play those first 5 holes particularly well. And I knew Jimmy and Barry were having a decent day, so I had to knuckle down and hole a few putts. Luckily I did that on 6, 8 and 9 and also 10, so, and then birdied 16 to sort of finish it off, and it was good coming down with a big handy lead.
Is it the first time you hold a cup, or?
It's the first time I've held this cup. I've had a couple of wins on the Challenge Tour, but it feels good to be in the winner's circle again, and hopefully it's a good sign for the rest of the year.
In general, is that your first cup, or you hold already some cups?
No, I've held some cups. Yeah, maybe different to this one, but yeah, I've held a couple.
How about the Olympic Games? I heard that golf will be apart from the Olympic Games. Will you plan to participate in the Olympic Games this year?
I'm not even close to getting into the Olympics, so it's not even on my mind. Well, I'll leave that to the guys that are at the top of the world rankings, and hopefully they can make it a great event.
Is it true that the golf will be apart from the Olympic Games?
Yeah, it should be good. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, the format, but they're making it into the Olympics, and we'll see what happens.
A cup like this will be a plus in your world ranking, international ranking?
I don't think this has world ranking points, but it's a big confidence booster for the rest of the season. Obviously, to win any event's pretty good. So, push on for next week at the Challenge Tour, and hopefully get the world ranking lower.
Your plans for the future, for another cups, tell us.
yeah, it's just want to keep getting better and better. You know, week in, week out, more consistency. Hopefully, holding more of these trophies and winning a lot more. So yeah, it'll be good.
Our exclusive cover feature this time is with Daniel Gunt, and he talked openly on what he plans for the future. Thank you, Ahmed Helmi, Nile TV International.
Welcome back, and of course our time is up and we have to pack and leave, but before we leave I would like to thank Sherif Al-Touni for my company, and we're going to wrap it up and leave you here. And before we leave you, we're going to leave you with the light segment, artistic segment, to enjoy it. And until we meet you again next week with another new crew of Nile Cruise, this is